Now, ladies and gentlemen, after just a little under a week of complete silence, Valve have spoken. As of yesterday on November 8th at around 8 p.m, the devs sent out yet again another update for CS2. And just like the last few weeks, this new blog post is extremely beefy. We can also notice a new level of detail, where they show and name specifics of what's changed or patched in certain parts of different maps. As an example, today's video we're going to break down this most recent blog post, show the changes for skins/stickers, maps, and even returning features from CSGO. Now today's video sponsor is Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is a buying and trading marketplace for your CS items. It makes a safe and easy way to trade out your inventory for something new. By using my code MANDO, you can get a deposit bonus of 35% alongside a free $5 in your first trade, with a max bonus if you spend $100 or more. With a large variety of skins, deposit options, alongside daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, they're doing a great job rivaling other competition. If interested, it'll be at the top of the link in the description below. So firstly, where did this start? Well, we saw a string of DPR updates around 4 hours before this update actually went live. It seems to be CS2's Twitter account actually tweeted in real time when this update went live. If we look back in previous weeks, at times Valve could take over 30 minutes to tweet that the update is live. This isn't necessarily a problem, just kind of sucks because this is where thousands, if not tens of thousands, maybe more, get notified. And now it's blog post time. With it being a chunky boy and as detailed as it is, we're going to sum up the less important areas and give you the biggest and best changes towards the end. Now there's 7 main categories for the blog post, but of course we're going to start it with the gameplay part. It seems to be Valve has made some changes to the sub-tick system, such as movement acceleration and muzzle flashes will now render on the next frame. Random numbers used for shooting spread are now synchronized between clients and servers by default. The last part for gameplay is pretty interesting. They fixed a bug where pressing a movement key immediately after jumping resulted in inconsistent jump height. What I've heard from other people, and just myself by playing CS2 this past month, let's just say you're trying to boost up on triple box on Mirage. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to hit it, especially if you've practiced it quite a bit. In CS2, at least before this update, it wouldn't always be that consistent, even on a server with 0 ping. With this change in addition, as well as a couple others in some other categories that we'll get going on, they're making it pretty close to CSGO. The second category up is matchmaking, and this, for me, this is where I play the most, and have seen the most notable change since I played right before and also after this update. The first addition Valve have made is that parties of 4 are now able to queue for Premere Mode, which this was kind of weird you couldn't do it before. I believe Valve's reasoning for this stemmed a lot from the player base and our feedback we've given throughout the past couple of years. If you look back to CSGO, this was actually a big complaint where you'd play with or against a 4-stack, and if you were solo queuing, sometimes just randomly, even if you were winning or about to win the game, or sometimes even won, you'd get kicked for no reason. And the second change to matchmaking in CS2 just makes more sense now. That being, they added a vote kick immunity for solo players who get matched on the same team with a party of 4 or more players. So if you're playing with a 4-man, they try and kick you, well, you're immune to that now. And that leads us into our last point for matchmaking. Valve has adjusted the algorithm for re-establishing your CS rating after a period of inactivity in Premere Mode. So what this means is if you take a break from CS2, don't play Premere for a very long time and you end up losing your rank, when you do choose to come back and you get your new rank, it's going to re-establish and just re-evaluate than it did before. I'm not sure what it did because I'm not even sure if you could be inactive from when CS2 first launched, even until now. Maybe it's a month, maybe it's 2 months before you lose your rank, I have no idea. Maybe you might give you a rank a little less than it was before, thinking and knowing that you could be a little rusty, not as good as you were, or put you back in the exact same spot. Who really knows? Now the third section up here is for audio. Out of everything in this entire blog post, Valve has gone the most in-depth for this category. Now there is a couple need-to-know changes. They addressed an issue where sometimes a headshot dink playing as feedback for the attacker could be mistaken for incoming damage. They changed the volume fall-off curve of jump landing sounds to better convey distance. They fixed a case where unsilenced M4A1S shots did not have any distant gunfire sounds. It seems to be Valve has made a lot of patches towards things in the distance. If that's you falling off a balcony, throwing a nade and it bounces off somewhere, you slashing your knife against a wall. If someone's close by or semi-close where they can still hear you on the other team or possibly a teammate, they're making it from the other person's point of view, whoever's making the sounds, gets a better idea of how far away you really are. So I'm glad all these things have been adjusted. Now the fourth category up is by far the smallest, and this is for maps. This week it's just Mirage. They fixed clipping on Bench and Palace. They also lowered the height of the box on a site to match CSGO. For this one, I gotta say bravo to Valve. Myself, alongside many other players in the community, have been very vocal the past couple of weeks asking Valve to be more detailed in their blog posts for certain fixes in certain maps. Sometimes they won't even tell us the map that they patched certain clipping on. Here they have a whole category for it, the map name, but also the very specific spot on what site and what area that actually got fixed. Now the fifth category is for effects. They improved performance of blood effects at close range, improved bomb light visibility from the back of bomb, reduced muzzle flash during a quick switch from scope weapons, reduced the strength of the kill streak HUD effect after 5 kills. And the sixth category up is for CSTV. And if you were thinking demos are back, well, you're right. CSTV demos can now be recorded without delay, spectating is enabled, and you can also download them, that being your own match or whatever else. And this is something I also tested out myself to make sure, but there are still a few bugs here and there. When you want your lowlights or your highlights for your specific demo, out of 5 times it only worked twice, which did kind of suck. As well as they elaborated on a bunch of new commands you can could also use in the console for demos. And the 7th category up here is for miscellaneous. They adjusted wear values on some stickers to better match CSGO. They fixed a bug with workshop tools, improved quality of performance HDR rendering mode, and they've now enabled the community to upload workshop maps for wingman mode. With all that being said, what were some of the best changes? Well, for starters, demos are now available to download and also copy. So if you want to put them on some other certain site to get better controls of the demo so things render faster, by all means, go for it. 4-man queues are now available in Premere, so you no longer have to invite a random person or kick someone out of the lobby. And speaking of kicking players, Valve have just recently added vote kick immunity for solo players who get matched with a 4-man queue. So if you're the top fragger not wanting to do a strat roulette, your team can't kick you. Also to note for the sounds category, sounds overall make more sense for a distance. Example, when falling or jumping off a ledge, someone near you can hear that better and can tell how far away you really are. And the same goes with grenades, but also nice slashes with the whole distance thing. Overall, this update was really good with patches, changes, but also quality of life updates. I did forget to mention, but playing CS2 before and then after this update came out, I did notice some changes very quickly. The sub-tick system feels so much smoother, running, ducking, walking, hitting a one-tap, spraying someone down, as well as all those audio changes and some effects. It's a very nice. On top of everything as well, I know there have been a few performance issues on certain maps. I've heard some on Overpass, but I've also experienced quite a few on Inferno. FPS dips were going below 50 and then spiking all the way past 300. It was making the game just pretty much feel like a slideshow. And after playing tonight, it feels like everything's been fixed. And as it goes for skin or sticker changes, there can't be a CS2 update without something getting broken. And this is a post from Zada on Twitter. He says DreamHack 2013 stickers are fixed. MLG 2016 stickers, they look a little bit too transparent. For Cato 14, they changed the scraping as well as some other random stickers. He also mentioned knife/weapon models had changes, but nothing that he noticed, and no skin change. And that's pretty interesting there, especially when it comes to no skin changes this week, that being good or bad. And as it goes for pointing out an error in this most recent blog post, this is a community reaction from Launders. He pointed out either a new bug or an unpatched problem with the jumping height being on par with CSGO. He says it just doesn't add up. And that pretty much concludes this update. This was overall great for everybody. As a Counter-Strike player in Premiere, these were some great changes, as well as adding to the level of detail in each blog post every week. The specific places or how something was fixed may not seem like it, but it really does wonders. Did you guys like this most recent CS2 update? Let me know down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.